Boom shakalaka, today's video, I have an absolutely shocking video for all of you Bitcoin bears out there, including a price prediction of exactly when I think Bitcoin will break through $20,000. Additionally, at the end, we have a sponsored review of Wing Finance, so stay tuned for all of that. What's up everyone, Randall here from Crypto Love. Today's video, I have an absolutely shocking video. You know, recently in the past week, Bitcoin prices are down, and instead of being kind of Christmas presents that we were all hoping for, it seems a lot more like the Grinch is stealing Bitcoin Christmas. But I have a very interesting chart for you, including the exact date that I think Bitcoin will cross $20,000. So you'll definitely want to stay tuned for that. Now guys, before we get started, like the video, subscribe, click the notification bell. It helps out so much. Thank you for all of that. Now what is this chart that I talk about? Pray tell. Well, in yesterday's video, I was talking about what's going on with Bitcoin price and how Bitcoin right now is in an ascending triangle, which is generally a very bullish pattern. Now we're in a bull cycle, we're in a bull trend, we're in a bullish pattern, so it only makes sense that Bitcoin price would go up. Now, why would Bitcoin price be going down if overall everything looks bullish? Well, I think the explanation is pretty much right here, okay? We have this dotted white line, which basically has been a trend since the middle of October. And it's been batting up against with previous all-time high right at $20,000. Now, if we go to from when the price broke out of the double bottom down here around $14,000 to the top right around $20,000 up here, we put a fib retracement and the price went up. It pretty much bounced off the 61.8 and we're back in this little wedge, this red wedge that I've made right here. Well, with these ascending triangles, basically what happens is it follows this yellow line here. The price gets squeezed in here, and then we break through the previous resistance that was the top right up here, which in our case is $20,000 previous all-time highs, and then that becomes the new bottom, and we start breaking out above. And as it turns out, the exact date that that is supposed to happen, if you can see down here, is December 24th, Christmas Eve. That's why I made this little Bitcoin tree right here pointing to the arrow there. And I find it somewhat humorous that that would be the day that basically everything is pointing to where Bitcoin break through previous all-time highs. Because if we think about what happened last Christmas, it wasn't Bitcoin Christmas, but last Christmas, on Christmas Day, we had the YouTube crypto purge where they shut down pretty much every YouTube channel. And that affected a lot of crypto YouTubers out there. So I definitely think that this price is reasonable, that it could very well happen on December 24th, because if we take a look at historic Bitcoin prices, the best times for Bitcoin are October, November, December, and then also April, May, and June. So those are the times of the year, 2 times of the year when we generally have Bitcoin bull runs. And we're coming up right to the end of that, which is basically right at the end of the year. Everything is basically pushing Bitcoin through there. And I would think that Bitcoin price would be headed above $20,000 for Christmas. That would be the coolest Christmas present ever, because that would be the beginning of brand new territory. Who knows where Bitcoin price would even go? I mean, first step obviously would be this fib extension right here at about $23,500. But after that, oh my goodness, the sky is the limit. So I'm very excited. I am definitely not bearish. I mean, the price could always go down. I've always known that with Bitcoin. I mean, it could go to zero. Unlikely it'll happen. Hardest money has ever been made. There's nothing like it, especially with them printing all that money nowadays. But price could go down. Who knows? It's easy to manipulate. It's such a drop in the bucket of the overall scheme of money. I mean, there's $100 trillion of institutional money to invest. Bitcoin has a $500 billion market cap. That's 1/200th of all the money to invest out there. It's a fraction, a drop in the bucket. So guys, I hope you're as excited as I am, and I think December 24th could give us a little bit of a present. I mean, that would be the best Christmas present ever. So thank you guys for watching. Like I said, like the video, subscribe, click the notification bell, and also stay tuned for the Wing Finance review. Alright guys, now as discussed, we have a sponsored review right now about Wing Finance. You can find out some information about them at wing.finance. Now what Wing Finance is doing is pretty much like Compound, but it's built on the Ontology blockchain, and they're doing some pretty interesting things to help bring trust into decentralized finance so we can have less of these exit scam things like Sushi Swap and Yam and all the other things that have been going on. So what specifically is Wing Finance? Well, they're building a credit-based decentralized finance platform dedicated to the digital asset lending market, supporting cross-chain asset and protocol interactions. It aims to support two types of lending activity: over-collateralized lending, where users can deposit assets whose value is 125% or higher than that of the assets borrowed, and credit-based lendings, where users with an O score can deposit assets whose value is 80% or higher than that of the assets borrowed. The token has the following planned use cases: voting for new product development, platform parameters, and allocation of community funds in a DAO, interest discounts when paying interest in the platform, and purchasing insurance contracts to hedge financial exposure on the platform. And according to the initial platform settings, 68.5% of Wing tokens will be allocated as community incentives as distributed, 50% to the lending pool, 40% to the borrowing pool, and 10% to the margin pool. Now, as we can see here, this is the token allocation, community incentives in the dark blue, ecosystem development in the light blue, and Binance Launch Pool in the green. And as you can see right here, we're in December of 2020, so we're right about in the midpoint of this Wing token release schedule that's planned all the way out through March of 2021. Now, one of the most interesting features about Wing Finance, and this is what's really bringing trust into decentralized finance, is this O score. So this is Ontology's self-sovereign credit evaluation system based on user data stored on the Ontology blockchain. Through its full implementation with Ontology ID, a user's O score can change the way we interact online when we borrow, lend, or insure. A credit-based system can lower collateral requirements, which may result in more transactions and higher asset liquidity, two traits vital to the advancement of the DeFi sector. Now, as of right now, the Flash pool has about $64 million total locked. And just recently, they launched their inclusive pool. So by joining the inclusive pool, it requires a KYC certification to confirm your borrowing authority and interest rates for participation. Now, there's 3 rules to this inclusive pool. First, the inclusive pool is a credit-based lending pool that supports 3 assets: Tether, USDC, and DAI. The users can only make 1 loan per day, and participating in the inclusive pool's borrowing, lending, and insuring features allow a user to receive Wing incentives. So you have that to look forward to with the inclusive pool. You can find out more information about that at inclusive.wing.finance, and more about the Flash pool at wing.finance/0pool. Now, as of right now, Wing, if you go to flash.wing.finance, you can see all the different assets that they have on here, including PWBTC, OntD, PRenBTC, PUSDC, Wing, PETH, PDAY, PUSDT, PSUSD, PNEO, PUNI, and ONG, or Ontology Gas. And if you want a really good tutorial for how to do that, you can just check out Altcoin Buzz's video up here. About halfway through, you'll find a really great tutorial for how to connect everything in the Flash pool. Now, if we take a look at the website, like I said, $64 million of assets locked right now. They're creating a credit-based cross-chain platform with trust as the main center to all of it. And the Wing token, like I discussed previously, has 3 functions. So governance, anyone who has tokens can participate in the DAO. Incentives for people who participate in the Flash pools and other things like that. And also release as liquid incentives for people participating. And the DAO, it encourages new product proposals from the community, so it's a very community-based project. Now, if we take a look at what's going on with Wing Finance, it is up 73.9% in the past 7 days. So you can see really big growth in the past 7 days leading up to the incentive pool launch. However, if we do take a look at it over the maximum timeline since the beginning, it is pretty much a degenerator like most other altcoins. So, for more information about the flash pool, how to get involved with that, I would definitely recommend checking out the Altcoin Buzz video. They can walk you through step by step. And overall, I think this is a really interesting project for decentralized finance in that it helps bring trust into decentralized finance. However, I would say this may go against the ideal behind a lot of decentralized finance. I mean, a lot of thought behind decentralized finance, at least the way that I see it, is people who want to get away from traditional centralized finance and doing things with the incentive pool, the inclusive pool, like requiring a KYC certification. That kind of goes against the idea of going away from centralized finance. But I do like what they're doing with bringing trust into decentralized finance, and with the support of Binance, with the support of Ontology and Neo and different projects like that, I think this one could be a very interesting one to take a look at. So for more information, check out wing.finance. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.